me feeling like I'm academics.
All right, man. Goddamn. Anyway. Okay. Real quick. I wanted to touch on this. So, remember like the whole Candace, I'm going to give you the overview. I'm trying to touch on this Candace Owens and Erika Kirk thing. So, okay. So Charlie Kirk was like the golden boy of the Republican Party. He had this organization named Turning Point USA. Essentially, they give him a lot of credit for rallying young voters who they believe were instrumental in getting Trump reelected this time around. Okay? Now, with that, this guy was going around. He was doing all these type of speeches. He was wildly popular, actually more popular than I knew before the time of his death. And at a rally that he went to, or not rally, but he went to go speak at a college, he was shot by a sniper from over 100 yards away in the neck. He died. Now, after he died, this is his wife, Erika Kirk, right here. She's taken over his organization. The organization, again, is called Turning Point USA. And we saw all of the stuff that kind of came with it, right? Where people are really just falling out over the fact that he died. And you get to realize this guy's a big deal. The Trump paid respects. You saw really a lot of people who were really horrified by his death, but they came out to celebrate his life. Now, the story of how he died and who killed him was reported on the media as, there's a kid that basically didn't like his rhetoric, and he was, proficient with guns, and he picked up his gun, and he went up on a roof, and he shot Charlie Kirk in the neck and killed him. Now, the person who does not believe that and actually believe it's much deeper than that is someone named Candace Owens. Candace Owens, from like moment one, has said, this sounds fishy. It feels like we're not being told everything we need to know. And if you guys ever look on YouTube, she's been having these live streams where she's going in depth about what she feels really happened to Charlie Kirk. She feels it's a conspiracy or it's a cover-up, and she's been getting and racketing millions of views. Now, put it like this. She streamed earlier today. The VOD for that has 1.3 million views. When I watched it myself today, she had 200,000 people live watching her break down these things. Now, some people believe her. And when I mean believe her, they're with her in the sense that they're like, this sounds fishy. Something's going on. This is a cover up. Let's figure out the truth. However, some other people are like, this is bullshit. This woman is just capitalizing off the death of Charlie Kirk. And even though she claims Charlie Kirk is her friend, she's just kind of gaslighting people to believe that there's something more deeper to his death. And even if they also believe that, his death or the rumors surrounding his killing or, the conspiracy theories, maybe if they want to believe it, they feel like she's just profiting off of his death for money. Well, what's interesting is that the organization had announced that they were going to debunk all of the, rumors or accusations that Candace Owens has been making about the death of Charlie Kirk. And Erika Kirk went on a program today, and she broke it down, or she made a plea to people like Candace Owens to leave her the fuck alone because she's a mourning
grieving widow.
Here we go. Grieving widow, as they call it. So you see that someone says she absolutely destroys Candace Owens, who they're saying is monetizing off conspiracy theories about his assassination.
A mom and a battle-tested American. Good to see you again today. Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing. This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that. But this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
What are they taking from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the hand-picked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find...
Essentially, she's saying, yo, fuck off, Candace Owens. You're lying. And here's the thing. To go down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories having to do with this assassination, people are like, how did some kid get up on a roof when there's thousands of people watching and set up and snipe this guy? How did nobody see this? So that's one thing. Number 2, they're like, okay, after he sniped the dude, how the hell did he hop off the roof, right, which was kind of, decently high, with the gun? There's a video of him hopping off. You don't see the gun. And then he hides the gun in the bushes. There's a whole bunch of stuff. They were like, yo, the dude was getting threats weeks before, all type of stuff.
The answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard, and I get that. We're doing the same.
Oh, also, when he got shot, the reason why the shooter was allowed to almost damn near get away, seemingly, is that there was an old guy at the scene, and he was like, I did it! Like, he just kind of like shouted out that he did it. They detained him. Of course, he didn't do it. But then they find, like, later on, the dude had CP on his phone. And they find just all type of things. Like, all type of, like, really odd things happening. And that's why people are like, yo, there's something much more going on.
Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful, and we are human. My team are not machines, and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. You name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
You know, the conspiracies that are out there, all of the like. Do you think that there is more of it now because you do shine your light? I mean, did people just expect you would just go away?
I don't know what they expected. I don't know what they expected.
They pick on you because of your accessories. I mean, I've seen some of it.
Oh, yeah. No, at this point, it's what the conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Like, seriously. Wow. If you want to find and pick me apart, go right ahead. I do not care. I don't.
So, to be clear, from most of the conspiracy theories I've seen about this, they're not accusing her of getting her husband killed. They're actually accusing her and the organization, Turning Point USA, of almost like allowing his assassination, as they're calling it, to go down without proper investigation and also covering it up. Okay?
This was happening before Charlie was murdered. Both of us have been through the ringer of people will call you whatever they want to call you.
Perspective of a grieving widow.
Okay. Now, Candace Owens responded. And let me see if I can find a good 5-minute version. She did a whole hour or hour and a half live stream. Candace. Here we go. One second. All right.
Wasn't sure about Erika. I was waiting kind of a situation for her to be in, obviously having lost her husband, becoming the CEO and the chairman of a company. It's just a lot of transition, and it's nice to wait for more information before you prejudge or just make an assumption about somebody, and it maybe is not based in reality. Well, we are getting a lot more of Erika Kirk this week. I'll tell you that, because she has been doing the rounds in the media really over the last couple of weeks. And she just gave an interview live with Harris Faulkner on Fox News, where she finally addressed the quote unquote conspiracy theories. And I have to say this because it's true, but it completely missed the mark for me. I am sorry. It just has. But the good news is that she is now unmurkying the water in terms of her intentions with this massive political organization. That's good news, truly, because we knew Charlie, and now we are getting an opportunity to know Erika. Plus, later on in the show, it's Knives Out for Tucker Carlson, as always.
All right. She kind of goes in a little bit more. She goes in a little bit more. Let's see. So, by the way, she's making a shit ton of money from these live streams because she's getting so much viewers. And people are saying, yo, you had said before you will stop if the widow of the man that you claim you care so much about, if she tells you to stop, which basically the shit we just played with Erika, she basically saying stop, right?
Say this, I am on this journey to figure out what happened on that day. I'm not going to stop unless Erika Kirk asks me to stop, as I have said, or my father, or my husband asks me to stop, because truth matters. And I think it is amazing that Erika found it in her heart to forgive. But it is also my belief that there are more people involved that are in need of forgiveness. Okay. Like I said, a lot more of it I have found out, and I want to be really methodical about releasing information. But this one,
Yo, Candace Owens is good. Yo, so Candace Owens essentially is saying, yo, we don't think it's as simple as how the government or the police has explained that some random dude killed this guy. There's a conspiracy theory to it. Now, she keeps stringing on the audience nah, I got some info. I'm going to drop it soon. Not now, but soon. But we need to ask some questions first. And essentially, she's kind of turned this into where people are are you going to ever give us some proof of whatever you're saying? And she doesn't really come with proof. She comes with more questions, right? And she comes with questions that either sometimes could be explained as coincidences, if you want to believe that. Obviously, if you believe in conspiracy theories, there's no such thing as coincidences, right? Or she's well, it's not me. It's not on me to fucking provide the proof. It's on them to show that show that what I'm saying didn't happen. And she's kind of created a nice little loop. It's kind of circular in a way where she constantly has the people of these organizations having to defend themselves, because if they don't, they look guilty. If they ignore it, they look guilty. And it's kind of good for her, you know, because she constantly has content to talk about. Okay, she's talking about some other shit, but it's some Egyptian shit. And then here we go with this.
And the mockery and the laughter is not working. Neither is this idea that, well, now the widow has spoken. We're not dealing with the widow. We want the CEO and the chairman of Turning Point USA to answer. Okay? If you can't compartmentalize, then I don't see how you're going to be able to lead this organization in the future, because Charlie worked. We knew who Charlie was because he was authentic. Okay? He didn't just go, well, I only make time for like big pocket donors. Okay? He was sitting college campuses. He was speaking to people, understanding people. He was changing his ideas and he was changing minds. And you are not changing my mind about the fact that something weird happened that day and that TPUSA is acting funny because you give it an...
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. Again, maybe some shit did happen, but if I'm the wife, you know, if I'm the wife of the dude, bro, I would have just been like, yo, Candace, man, shut the fuck up, nigga. Let's catch a fade, bro. Like, because at this point, she seems like she's kind of giving off the image like she cares about your husband more than you. And people are believing it. Like, people believe Candace, you know? So, like, even this, people think this is fake tears or whatever. This chick can't win at all, right? But obviously, it's because of a lot of, like, people just don't believe the official narrative. This is Tucker Carlson and what's my man's name again?
Who was Charlie Kirk?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
the comedian dude.
Love his wife. And
Why is his name?
Well,
missing?
And so I feel emotional about it. So, I just haven't wanted everything to do with it. But I will say a couple of things. I don't understand the official story at all.
Of his assassination,
I don't.
Okay, so again, it's not only Candace Owens saying they don't understand the story. Other people are saying they don't buy the narrative, right? Like, for example, I'll just read some of this rather than playing it. He says he's not buying the official FBI narrative. He's making 2 points that Candace Owens, like, also co-signs. He says there were Egyptian aircrafts that were following Erika Kirk for years. Huh? Now, I believe they meant Charlie Kirk, not Erika, because there was at one point Erika kind of spoke out on this, saying this wasn't true. And they were saying they were really following either both of them or maybe it was Charlie Kirk. They said there was disproportionately large number of foreign registered cell phones at the event. So they're saying from all the cell phones in the area, there was a lot of foreign registered cell phones. Now, keep in mind, like, there's a group of people who believe that maybe Israel killed him. Like, yo, he was starting to turn on Israel and he was waking up and they said, all right, bet, let's kill you. Right? And let's kill you at a very open event. Okay. It says he blames the FBI for not undertaking and presenting a comprehensive case to the public. For example, how is it that Tyler Robertson acted alone when people on X knew something was coming? So there were people that were tweeting out randomly like, yo, you're going to die this day. And people can't tell. They're saying, how did you guys not, like, investigate those people to kind of figure out if they knew something in advance or they knew something at all? It's like Candace may not be getting everything right, but Tucker trusts the purity of her intent. That's why she's so popular. And by the way, this was her crying before, the wife before.
Shabbat Shalom, throw it in the junk drawer, and it was just all us. And that's what I always wanted to make so special for him, was coming home. I'd always say, baby, I don't care what time you get home. Home is here for you. Your food will never be cold. It might sit out for a little bit, but I'll reheat it. It's fine. And I just want to encourage spouses, don't. He was Charlie Kirk.
Referring to one of the housewives who lived her life very public and choose when you want privacy and when you don't want privacy. And subjectively, as it, in the matter of Erika Kirk, this is the same person who had somebody record her over Charlie Kirk's casket. That was not our business, truly. And I can say that decision was made by her, and Instagram was a decision that was made by Erika. And we can watch that. Take a look.
Yeah, this video was weird. Can't even lie to you. That video is fucking weird. Let's see what some
So
people
Candace Owens, in the most giddy, borderline evil story I've ever seen, is getting ready to now go on the attack against Erika Kirk. This is what it's always been about. She said that if Erika Kirk herself asked her to stop, she would. Erika said in a resounding voice today, back off. But Candace was never going to. It was never about that. It is only about the money. She does not care about Charlie. She does not care about Turning Point USA. She doesn't care about you that support her. She is a woman scorned, a woman on a warpath, and all she cares about is money and fame. And she will burn everything to the ground to get it.
Okay. All right. So they're going back and forth. And, I think it kind of, to me, this is a good case study about people, right? There's some people that believe in Occam's razor, which is the simplest explanation is the one that's right. Hey, this guy who basically they found that there was messages and he had like a transsexual lover that basically corroborated that he did do it. They did, his father turned him in after figuring out that he was, so that's the simplest explanation. The more complicated explanation is that he got assassinated by a foreign government who relied on him to push propaganda and narrative to keep funding for that particular country being fueled through the U.S. government because he had influence through the U.S. government. And also, like, it gets deep right there, right? You get what I'm saying? And people are saying, yeah, that's probably what happened. And some people say, nah, it's a mix between the two. And some people be like, no, well, it could be both, right? That kid may have killed him, but they were contracted by foreign government. Like, we want to know everything. It's just not that simple. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that's where the back and forth is. Some people feel like, well, even if we don't believe Candace Owens is asking questions. Why aren't we getting answers? Even if she's not accurate, let's get the answers to correct her. So that's where this whole conversation lies.
I want to be clear that Turning Point USA is my family. The Charlie Kirk show is my family. Like she's just expanding the wings of people that we're not allowed to critique because they're in the family. If you call them fam, you can't critique them, right? Oh, I'm sorry. We actually are showing a clip of Rob McCoy defending a pedophile or trying to launder the reputation of that's fam. That's the CK show fam. Oh, I'm sorry. We are actually pointing to the fact that we know for certain that this person or organization is sexual deviant. That's fam. That is my, don't you get me upset. I know that this is a now $150 million in the last 3-month organization and we employ tons of people, but you can't critique. You can't critique the fam. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to be very clear here. This is why there are many people who do not believe that women are equipped to lead companies, because what you are watching here is an unbelievably emotional response that is absent of any logic, okay? If you really care about your team, answer the questions, okay? Just demystify the entire event. Answer, come out, sit down, answer the questions so people don't think Turning Point USA looks so suspicious. Don't try to mom the organization and say, well, mother's upset because people are coming after her kids and all of this multi-million-dollar subsidiaries. That's my children, okay? The multi-million-dollar subsidiaries, Turning Point, like Turning Point Action, all that, those are my kids, so you can't critique them. Not a good idea, okay? It may work in PR world. You guys, I know how it's an obvious PR campaign. It's never been more obvious of a psychological operation. I actually wish they would put me on payroll.
By the way, some people are over it. Tim Pool went crazy. He's another political commentator. He went crazy on Candace. And some people, they're fed up with Candace.
Talking about how Candace Owens says she left the...
Wait, I'll play a shorter version.
...is a fucking evil scumbag. Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt.
Wow.
She is burning everything down. And she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was the...
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy, and she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property, and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who try to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And you know, it's all lies. It's all hypocrisy, and it is for the purpose of making money. And she does not live the way other people live. And she claims she liked Charlie, she loved Charlie, and she is burning everything down that he built because she is evil. She is evil. And I'll say it again, this conservative movement is fractured, it's fried, whatever it is. Okay? Republicans are on track to lose the midterm.
Now, here's the thing. Democrats are having a blast with this. They're like, yo, keep fighting. You know, Trump is, you know, he's going to be out of office. This is his last term. Now you get the Republicans fighting. Democrats are like, all right, bet we're going to take back over. And then the Republicans are mad. They're like, yo, why are we fighting? And they're looking at Candace like she's one of the causes. Crazy.
They were actually trending in the other direction until Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
And this is the point, isn't it? The most effective political assassination in history. And thanks to the likes of the vile cunt Candace Owens, she has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that was against them. I don't get paid by any of these people. I'm not on good terms necessarily with Turning Point USA. They didn't invite me to their stupid event. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. They invited me back after I started criticizing Candace. I'm not going to your event. I'm over all of this shit. The last thing that I need to deal with is a bunch of cowards in conservative media refusing to stand up to her. Megyn Kelly, come on. I appreciate the kind words, but come on. Such fucking pathetic bullshit. You know, and I get people saying, Tim, you know, thank you so much for talking about it. I don't care. I'm not doing a favor for anybody. I'm not doing this to benefit anybody. Nobody's paying me. There's no fucking Russia. There's no fucking Israel. There's just me sticking my neck out and then risking dying for what? A bunch of cowards that don't want to stand up to protect themselves? People like fucking Candace Owens?
I couldn't believe that she put you in the thumbnail.
What a fucking cunt.
Of her piece today.
I'm done.
The idea that she'd imply that you had some benefit or that you benefited.
Yeah, so Candace been kind of attacking these motherfuckers like, yo, this motherfucker benefited from this. Hey, it is what it is, man. I'll say this. We obviously live in this economy where everybody's capitalizing off everything. I think Candace is galvanizing an audience by seeming sincere, like she's asking questions other than like kind of just doing content, and maybe she does have some genuine care for that. But I think people are also looking at like, yo, she's like cashing out, which that incentive is probably the incentive that's allowing her to keep making up more stuff if she's making it up. Now, there's certain people who legitimately have questions, and that's where I think the U.S. government and also TPUSA, they're not doing a good enough job in, like, kind of shutting the shit down where it's like, yo, if you believe Candace, you're kind of like a Looney Tune. They're allowing space for people to speculate because they're keeping quiet, and potentially they're keeping quiet to protect an investigation, but even that makes what Candace Owens says seem a little bit more credible because it's not as cut as dry as some random kid just got up on a roof and killed him. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Is it what? His sponsors told me to get on thing on Cry. Somebody said, get your bread, Candace. Yo, y'all rock with Candace for that, right? Is it because he's white or y'all just believe her? I mean, she is asking questions. One thing for sure, two things for certain. I'll say this. Yo, people are tired of Israel. Like, I think there's a growing population consensus that they're tired of propaganda that seems to be purporting or supporting Israel. That's why they actually feel when people who were pro-Israel become kind of either neutral to that situation or they start asking questions. When those people die or unfortunate things happen to them, they actually blame Israel. And that's where the whole thing with Charlie Kirk, they said he was waking up. They were like, yo, he was kind of like starting to be critical of Israel. And that's why, some people feel like they sent the hit. So, but I will say just generally, I think people are kind of like, we live in America, bro. Like, I don't know what the fuck Israel got to do with America this much. I think people are tired of Israel. That's a fact. And I do think the next government will hear that loudly in votes, where if y'all don't, I think that's what happened also in New York. I think if people are basically shills for Israel, people are voting or voting with they're going to vote with their vote, but they're also voting with their attention to say, if we can't ask questions, if we gonna blindly fund these people, if we gonna act like that's the America and this is some other place that we live at now, we ain't with it. And that's why I think some people ain't that mad at Candace, right? And that's where we're seeing people like even Nick Fuentes, they're popping up like in the conservative space. They're the people, there's the conservatives who love Israel, and then the conservatives who want to question why certain things are happening and if it's a product of Israel kind of forcing the hand of people, Yeah. Somebody said, what? Somebody said, keep it going.